Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Now, here's BJ Rains with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, what's going on, Boise State fans? Happy Wednesday to you, and you know what that means. Your double dose of Winston Venable here at Bronco Nation News. We're starting out with the Winston Venable Show, presented by Progressive Wealth Management, and Winston, looking forward to having some fun today, man. I always love Wednesdays and catching up with you. How's it going, man?
Oh, I'm doing awesome, BJ. We got another win under our belts for the Broncos. That always makes this Wednesday a little bit better going into the next week. And we got a bye week, so we can kind of just press pause a little bit, and the old Broncos can tighten up what they got going on. We can tighten up what we got going on and finish this second half the right way.
Yeah, it's kind of nice how the bye actually comes 6 weeks in at the halfway point. Sometimes it's in week 2 or week 3. Sometimes it's not till week 10. So you get it at the midpoint. You get it before you play Air Force. Obviously, that's a big deal, right? To get that bye and get some extra work on that triple option in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the Air Force team and that triple option is always one team, one style that gets everybody's attention in the summer. So you're always spending a little bit of time getting ready for the triple option. Wherever they're out on the schedule, you want to get as many reps as possible, and that even happens in the summer, maybe even in the spring. So the Broncos get this extra week to get right and get ready for a big one.
Jordan says, happy Winston Day. It's not Wednesday, it's Winston Day. We appreciate we always look for. I still feel bad that we have both shows on the same day, but I guess maybe you said you kind of like that, just knocking them both out on the same day.
Man,
but we are excited for today's show, but we're also excited for tonight as well. We incorrectly, yet again, Winston, we need to stop doing this, I guess, but we've been incorrectly hyping up who our guest was going to be, and we had to make another switch at the last minute, but really excited about having Richie Bronco on tonight.
Oh, Richie Bronco, the ultimate Bronco coming at us. Richie Bronco was a senior when I joined the program, and this dude represents that blue and orange probably better or more than anybody else out there. So I'm super excited to get one of my brothers on. Also do a little work with Richie. He helps me out, gets my taxes taken care of. So it'll be awesome to get Richie on and share some stories.
And he's a 2-time Fiesta Bowl winner, but I believe he was injured for the second one, correct?
Yeah, Richie, he was, like I said, he was one of the seniors we had on that team. I think there was only 4 or 5 guys, and unfortunately didn't get that second one in with us. But, of course, every bit a part of that program had everything to do with us winning that game. So big shout out to Richie.
And Johnny's a big NFL guy, so I know he's going to be excited to try to get some NFL stories out of Richie. I was watching the highlight of his little fumble-rooski or whatever you call it, the trick play where he scored the touchdown, and Cam Newton snuck the ball between his legs, and then he scored the touchdown there. So he had a nice little NFL career as well that we can get into. Yeah,
we'll have a story right off the jump, a little story that when the Panthers came to the Bears, and we'll leave it for later, BJ. But
you guys had a little matchup.
Well, there was a potential there, so we'll go teaser, and you got to subscribe and listen to the show to learn about what that was like in 2011 Chicago Bears and Carolina Panthers.
I love that. Yeah, we that's right. You got to be a paying subscriber to watch the show tonight. So 8 p.m. Bronco Nation News Live, 8 p.m. Hopefully everyone's a little more relaxed. You have a drink, you talk some football, and we're going to hear what happened when Winston and Richie met out there on a one-on-one tackle opportunity, maybe, or something. We'll have to see what that was like. But so hopefully folks will subscribe. If you're you should get the email here in a little bit. If not, you can go to the BroncoNationNews.com, go to the live videos tab, and just click down and search BNN After Dark, the little tab there. There's now a page set up where you can watch any of the previous, 5-6 episodes, and then you can watch tonight's episode right there on the website as well if you are a subscriber, or we will send you the link as always. We got what will we do on Saturdays with no football? Saturdays aren't the same.
There's still a lot of football on for your entertainment. I know it's not Bronco football, but go check out some other squads. We'll be all right.
They're asking me if I ever found the your hit in the Fresno State QB in the pick six. I'm working on that. I figured Winston would have 50 million clips of that he watches on loop all day that he could just send to me. But we'll try to see if we can find that. Do you know where I can find that?
I'm sure YouTube. You're a YouTube guy, BJ. It's got to be on there somewhere.
All right, we'll take a look at that. But we are excited, and we'll get to it in a few minutes, kind of updating on your career and what you're doing. And with the bye week taking some time, we see Progressive Wealth Management logo down there on the screen. We're going to get into that here in a few minutes. But I did want to get your thoughts quickly on the game on Saturday. You came down there, and we appreciate that for the pregame show at the James. We saw you down there, and then Boise State went to work against Fresno, and it wasn't perfect in the first half, and then early in the second half, Fresno gets the field goal, and all of a sudden you look up, and it's a 20-20 game. But Boise State was able to kind of impose its will in the running game there in the second half. The defense locked down. I think only gave up 45 yards in the second half, and the final score ends up a nice-looking 40-20 win. What were your thoughts on that Fresno State game?
Yeah, I thought I got an initial thought. I thought that 7:45 kickoff time, I'm starting to understand what people are talking about, because I had to rewatch about the last 4 minutes of the game because I had passed out on the couch. So that's a late kickoff. That was my initial thought. But no, it was a battle, right? And I think it was pretty cool seeing both teams going at it with the run attack. Fresno State really stuck to their guns and really stuck with even that wildcat and consistent in the run game. And so did Boise State. They didn't do as much maybe of the zone read stuff with Talon, but some more traditional handoff stuff. The running game was working, and you could just see these two teams battling it out, and no one was going to waver with what they were really trying to do. And you could see that both teams were sticking to that run game mentality, and they were going to kind of duke it out. Awesome to see the Broncos pull out late, but I would expect to see a little bit of that going into the future here, where I think the Broncos got this mentality of really controlling the game and controlling the clock with that run game. And then if you have a team like Fresno State, or like we're going to see with Air Force, some of these are going to be some dogfights. They're not going to be crazy high-scoring games, although Boise State, 40-20, it looks better. But what would we say third quarter? It's still 20-20, and they finished late. So I think that's kind of what we're going to expect to see moving forward.
Yeah, you're looking midway through the third quarter. Fresno State with 8:57 to go tied the game. Boise State didn't actually take the lead until there was 46 seconds left in the third quarter. So you're talking a minute left in the third quarter, and you look up and it's 20-20, and you're, I never felt like they were in danger of losing the game. It was weird, but it was kind of like, what's going on here?
No, I think, and that's exactly it. I think they had full confidence and control of that game, and they were doing what they wanted to, and it was similar. What was working, they just kept to it. Didn't need to go too outside of they didn't need to dive too much into that playbook. They kept seeing simple again. And I know we always talk about that offense because it's been just a huge story. Obviously, Cutter coming in, but Zeke, Noah, and the linebackers.
Yeah.
Let's go, BJ. You asked me earlier in the year who I had my eye on, and it was it was kind of some question marks. What are these guys going to do? And I've talked to some people. Zeke Noah looks like a completely different monster out there with the way he's moving. And I know he's dealt with some injuries and had some things, but that dude is playing at a high level. And it's awesome seeing the Boise State defense running around out there.
Yeah, 6 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss, a forced fumble. Oh, yeah, and his first career interception as well. He's the first player since, I think, Dante Dion, Jay Tuss had the stat going back to like 2014 or whatever it was, to have at least 5 tackles, a pick, a sack, and a forced fumble in the same game. He was everywhere, and you throw him and DJ Schramm in there together, man. Andy Avalos even said it at the beginning of the season after like the first game. He's like, yeah, just admit it. We all thought the linebackers were going to be a weakness on the team this year, and it hasn't proven that way. I mean, you saw the secondary, who they had. You saw the D-line. But after losing Riley Wimpy, after Zeke Noah struggling last year, there was a lot of concern, I think, about this linebacking core. But Zeke Noah and DJ Schramm have stepped up, and that's been one of the most impressive units on the entire team.
Dudes are tearing it up, man. It's awesome to see. Being a kind of tweener linebacker type guy myself, I'm fired up to see 7, 5, 2, all those guys, man. Even some of the younger guys coming here, they're doing an awesome job. It's pretty cool to see.
Love seeing Zeke at full go. Somebody did find the YouTube video, even have the time for me of where to look. So we'll pull that down at some point here in the near future. We are working on a new intro, by the way. Winston's going to get his own intro here. It's in the works with the voice guy. So we'll have a special Winston Venable here show for Wednesdays and for After Dark, actually, for that matter. But you mentioned the bye week and what kind of happens during the bye week. I know it's not, you don't practice as hard. I know the young guys get some practices. I know the coaches will go out recruiting over the weekend. But what's going on this week over at the facility?
Yeah, I think they'll still get after it in the beginning part of the week. Probably have a couple practices, some shorter practices, probably taking a little bit off these guys as far as the physicality. Like you just said, there are probably some opportunities for young guys to get some reps, but it's not really where you're taking the pedal off. You're just reshifting the week, really, where you're going to get more mental reps. You're going to take care of the body more, spend more time in the training room. So you're still putting in a lot of work during a bye week. Coaches are still out recruiting, grinding on the film. So it's just that week for the players to just take a little bit of a chill, focus on their body, focus on school, still get after it early in the week. And then I'm sure later in the week, those guys will probably get a couple days off. Friday, Saturday is probably some off days for those guys, and then right back on it on Sunday. So early workload in the week, and then kind of taper it off later in the week.
And what about having the bye literally at week 6, halfway through the season here? You've played 6 games. You got 6 left. Is that kind of how if you could script it perfectly, you'd have the bye right in the middle of the season?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that is a perfect time for a bye. I know that, Boise's probably, feeling some momentum, and those guys are probably ready to play another game, and they probably want to. It's like, hey, we're starting to get going, and like, why take this pause? But I think with the new transition, with Cutter coming in and some of these guys needing more reps, this is a good week to kind of like, hey, let's really finalize and not finalize, but let's anchor down what this playbook looks like. What do we want to work on? And then get to it. But yeah, you have that bye week too early in the season, and then you got like this long season halfway point. Nice little break. That's awesome.
Nate says, knock on wood, but we've been fortunate on the injury front. Is this a direct result of of replacing the indoor turf? What do you make of I know Coach Harsin had been saying for a couple of years that indoor turf was old and needed to be replaced, and there were some injuries happening on there. What do you make of just the turf finally getting replaced in the indoor, and if you think that's helping guys stay healthy? I mean, they're not really practicing in there very much.
Yeah, I think anytime you can upgrade, anytime you can replace something that's been there for a while, awesome. But there's NFL stadiums that have turf, and I mean, there's injuries that are just freak accidents, and it's like mind-boggling how some of this happens, whether it's the player, it's the turf, it's their cleats, were they stretched out, were they too stretched out, who knows? Some of this stuff that goes on with some of these injuries is just so crazy that I don't have an answer for that stuff. And maybe if something's, really old, but there's been no injuries, then people leave it. I mean, it's not necessarily newer is always better. I think, it's just some freak stuff that goes on the football field.
Well, I am here in St. Louis during the bye week visiting my family. So I'm literally Winston in my parents' basement. So I can say I'm a blogger in my parents' basement here for this week doing the show. But the Cutwater Canned Cocktails Studios, they go wherever we go. So they're on the road with us here in St. Louis. Winston's there. in the Treasure Valley. Over 30 flavors of Cutwater canned cocktails. Make sure you pick one up. As always, we'll try to give you a prize or something if you show us that you're having one tonight during BNN After Dark. So make sure you pick up a Cutwater canned cocktail, pre-mixed cocktails at your local grocery store or gas station. Hey, if you're looking for a new career change, how about the trucking industry? It's a booming industry right now with the pandemic. If you want to become a truck driver, and I'm talking everything from the big rig on your screen to the Amazon truck you see in your neighborhood, Transportation Compliance Service can help you every step of the way. Check them out, transcomservice.com, all the permits, all those things you need to get going, towing that first load in no time. The Blue and Orange Store as well, theblueandorangestore.com. Check them out. $40 online order gets you free shipping. So you get free shipping on any order over $40 at the Blue and Orange Store. .com, and you can go check them out at the Boise Town Square Mall there as well, right there at the mall to check out all those needs, and right next to the Pro Image on the second floor. So they have all the coaches apparel, the sideline apparel, all the new NIL shirts. So check out the Blue and Orange Store. And we're excited because Winston, we kind of teased some of the things you're working on, but before we bring on our special guest, why don't you update us? We see the Progressive Wealth Management logo on the screen here. We know you transitioned out of coaching. You got a little one now, but talk to us about Progressive Wealth Management and what you're doing here.
Yeah, Progressive Wealth Management, PWM. It's where I'm at. It's what I'm doing now. Super excited about it. And the biggest thing for me is when I was coaching at Boise for the last 5 years and really all my life, I understood I had this ability to connect with people and really help lead people and be a resource for younger people. So when I stopped playing and came back to Boise in 2017, I worked as an intern with Taylor Tharp, operations, weight room with Coach Pittman, running back coach, special teams. So I had all these different roles at Boise State. And the biggest role of them all was that I had an ability to have an impact and influence on young people. And it didn't matter what arena that was in. It didn't matter what my title was. As long as I could impact and influence young people, I felt pretty good about life. That's kind of my purpose. So when I took a little step away from coaching in December, tried to think about what's next. What am I going to do? And Ryan Winterswijk, guy that we had on the show on BNN After Dark, hit me up and he said, hey, man, I don't know if you remember Tracy Baggerly, but he wants to meet with you. He thinks it'd be a good idea for us to get together, have some drinks, and talk a little bit about what he's doing. So, as the story goes, I sat with Tracy Baggerly and I learned about how he is having an impact and an influence on young people as well, and what he's doing, developing really at the time Boise State football players making the transition into the NFL. So I'm like, my ears are starting to buzz and get all flared up because here's somebody that is speaking my language. Here's another way for me to have this impact and have this impact with Boise State football players. So, we'll bring Tracy on, but I work in a client relation role with college players working on their transition to the NFL. And it's very similar to my role as the player development coordinator at Boise. I'm a resource for young men making that transition. And I have a lot of personal experience. And I'm here to share that knowledge and that experience with people and make sure that they're dialed in going into the next level.
Well, Progressive Wealth Management, enhancing wealth for this generation and the next. You can speak with a trusted advisor. You can learn more about PWM's financial services at pwmmanagement.com. And, of course, as you mentioned, the wealth advisor, the president of PWM, is nice enough to join us here. We'll bring on, I guess, you're bringing on your boss on your own show. That's got to be
good. My boss, my partner, my brother, my friend. It's a good relationship that we have, but yeah, here's the man. He's well known in the community. Tracy Baggerly joins us.
Tracy, hey, we appreciate you coming on. Obviously, you're a former Boise State player yourself. You've been in the community a long time. I guess before we find out a little more about yourself and your company here, how's Winston as an employee?
He's been awesome. I specifically went after him immediately after I found out that he had stepped away from coaching, and I had met him via Ryan Winterswijk several years ago. I think he was still in the league playing and was completely impressed at the time. And so when I heard that he had stepped away, I was like, we got to go get him.
Well, tell us about how you got in. I know you've been doing this since, I think, 2003. You founded the company, but and I know you're running the Eagle Rodeo. You've been in the community doing a lot of things to help the Treasure Valley for a long time. But, after you finished up your kind of Boise State playing career, just tell us how you reached this point where you've got a company where you're now, managing the money for a lot of these former stars from Boise State.
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride. I obviously tried a few different things coming out of college and didn't work out and whatever. And I ended up getting involved in the financial advising side. So we were basically advising on financial investments and whatnot, and had been doing that for the last 20 years or so. In the meantime, we turned around and we started that Eagle Rodeo as a way to give back to the community. So I formed the Eagle Rodeo. We turned it into a not-for-profit at that point. And so running both companies kind of at the same time. Fast forward the clock, we ended up getting involved with a couple of the ex-Broncos. I don't know if you remember old Lee Marks from way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
But as the rodeo started to grow, I needed more security and that type of thing. And I was coaching at the time also. So I coached for 17 years after I got done playing.
Okay.
And so I had hired Lee to do some training in the off season and whatnot for my players. And in his off season, he was looking for a job. So I said, well, I need some security guys, so he came on and put a small group of guys together, some names you probably recognize like Ryan Clady and Lee and Ryan Winterswijk, and all those guys were our first group of dudes that came through. And one thing just kind of led to another, and it wasn't anything, BJ, that I can't say that I intentionally went after these college athletes into the NFL. It was just something that kind of happened when the guys from the rodeo started understanding what I did for a living. They asked for help. When they knew I played there for a while and I had that experience, they asked for help. And, the first experience I had was with Ryan Clady, which, one of the best to ever come through Bronco Nation, and left tackle, all of that. And it was an amazing experience, and I learned a ton. So it kind of just started to evolve, and the ball started rolling from there. In fact, Ryan Winterswijk ended up being the very first client we picked up into the NFL when he got drafted to the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. And I know the real reason you needed Winston is because all the millions in his bank account, you needed that 5% or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you bet. Those coaches over there get paid a ton.
Yeah. We see all the pictures behind you. We see, Alexander Madison, Leighton Vander Esch. I know I don't know what you can say in terms of the client privileges, but at least to who the players, some of them are. We obviously see behind you there with Matt Paradis. I mean, you do have a pretty good list here of former Boise State guys that you've gotten to know and you're working with.
Yeah, we have. It's been, once you start to understand the process, right? That's the biggest thing, is to be able to educate these guys and provide solutions. And whether it's in the investment world or whether it's, the wealth management side, where we're just helping them with life experiences. There's so many things that are thrown at these young kids at such a young age that they need somebody to bounce ideas off. And in some cases, they have a great support system behind them, parents, grandparents, whatever it may be. And then in others, they don't have anybody. And so it's our job just to listen and make sure that we're providing those solutions no matter what it is. But, as far as the guys go, I remember Coach Pete way back in the day, and I think he called it OKG, like our kind of guy, right? Yep. And it is truly amazing that statement stands out so well in Bronco Nation, because the gentlemen that we work with, the athletes that we work with on this side, there's one underlying condition with all of them, and they are amazing young men. They don't get in trouble off the field. They do the right thing. They do, they work hard at what they do. And so it's amazing. But you can look at, we've got Leighton, Ezra Cleveland, Alex, you said, Alexander Madison, John Bates, who we got, David Moa. He was with the Giants. So I got whichever way I got him.
We got to update that jersey, by the way. Alexander went and screwed you and switched numbers.
We got to get him. He's only got so many of those twos out there so far, so we got to get one sent this way.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, of course, Matt Paradis. Who we missing, Winston?
Well, we got a couple guys that are still, like you said, Matt Paradis and a couple other guys that are free agents still looking to get out there and do their thing. And, Kamale Carrera is one of those guys that is still on the hunt. So, no, it's been really cool, because not only have we been able to continue to have an impact with the Boise State guys, this opportunity for me has allowed me to get outside and try to expand the company and expand the business where I kind of have this role where I talk to players and parents and agents, and we're not just Boise State. That's kind of been our niche because that's our backyard. But we've been able to get through with some guys that are played Montana State, Tulane, a couple other guys that are out there on NFL rosters, which has been pretty cool. So this thing is just getting going. We're rebranding. It used to be Progressive Financial Services. We've got a whole new look, PWM, and new websites out, a couple of marketing brochures that we've done. And it's been awesome to kind of start fresh and create something new with Tracy.
Yeah, and I saw the office there. Stopped by a couple weeks ago. It's awesome what you guys got going on there. And Tracy, I guess I know you specifically focus on professional athletes, executives, entrepreneurs. But I mean, if just a general Joe Schmo watching the show is interested in some help, can PWM help help him out?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's how I built this business, right? Dealing, when we were talking about the first client we worked with was Ryan Clady. Obviously, prior to that, we were doing a lot of work with other folks, and we do it every single day. That's our bread and butter. We come in here and we treat those clients just as well, and the same as we would any of these professional athletes. This is just a passion that we've done, and I see a need for these young kids coming out. I just want to make sure that they're taken care of, and that at the end of the day, they have as much money, as much of the money that they've earned left whenever their career's over, because you just never know when that may happen. And that's our overall goal, is just help them do that.
Well, again, the website is pwmmanagement.com. Progressive Wealth Management, enhancing wealth for this generation and the next. We do appreciate you allowing 30 minutes. I'm not sure if you make him start his payday at 9:30 or not on Wednesdays or what, but we do appreciate on Wednesdays you allowing him to take a little time out of his workday to do the show with us. And we appreciate you for coming on. Best of luck with everything moving forward. And we'll do what we can to help promote your business and hopefully continue to help see it grow.
Yeah, awesome, BJ. We appreciate it. And I encourage Winston to do this kind of stuff. I think it's awesome that we continue to stay relevant in the community, and we love the Broncos, so it's a perfect match.
Well, appreciate it, Tracy. We'll be talking soon, man. Best of luck.
Thank you.
There he is, Tracy Baggerly. And Winston, I know you got to say nice things about him because he's your boss, but it's pretty cool to see a former Bronco kind of work his way up and be in this spot and be impacting and helping out a lot of current and former Broncos as well.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way I would be joining this team here if I didn't catch that vibe that Tracy was in it for the right reasons and the reasons that I am a big believer in. And when I caught that vibe, and it's really about helping people, it's really about that transition and making sure guys are good. And when I caught how good of a dude he is, and you just start to put yourself around really good people, and then you understand, like, all right, you got yourself into a good situation where you can still have an impact and work with good people. And let's be real, he's allowed me to get home and see my son by 5 o'clock and have dinners, and that's super important to me because the football coaching lifestyle it's tough, man. And I gave that a shot. And when you have a family, man, it's a tough deal. So I'm really thankful for the opportunity to work with PWM and help grow this business.
And again, we'll be doing another show tonight, BNN After Dark, for folks that maybe jumped on late. Going to be fun. Richie Bronco tonight, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Let's see what kind of Richie we get. He's got the kiddos running around at the house, but I think if we can get him trapped in his own room sharing some Boise State stories, we're going to have a couple good ones tonight.
Well, again, you got to be a subscriber, and I do want to thank the subscribers. We have made it a big goal the last couple of months, and we have pushed past 600 paying subscribers. I think we got 604 yesterday, Winston, so we're now moving upward and onward towards 700. And I was telling people, my goal for year one was 250, and my goal for the end of year two was 500 subscribers, and in barely 10 months, we're at 604 now, and that's to folks like you, Winston, and that are doing things with the BNN After Dark and with Jay Tust and all the people we have on our team. It's been a lot of fun to see this thing grow, and I'm excited to see where the Winston Venable Show can grow and where we can continue to utilize Winston's talents in this company as well, because you're doing a great job, man, and we appreciate it, and looking forward to continuing this thing. And if you want to be a subscriber, we'd love to have you. If you want to watch the show tonight, Wednesday nights at 8, BNN After Dark, you have to be a subscriber. So hopefully folks will jump on board. And if you are a subscriber, You'll be getting your email with the link here pretty soon. Or as I said earlier, just go to BroncoNationNews.com, click on the live videos tab, and then click on BNN After Dark, and you'll have the page there where you can watch the show. So, yeah, Winston, every show continues to get better and better. And I keep saying we can't top it. But I think tonight's going to be fun with Richie, and we appreciate it, man.
No, absolutely, BJ. I love starting the mornings off with you and finishing off, man. So
let's do it, man.
We'll knock this thing out, man, and we'll get after another one tonight. It'll be fun.
Oh, and I do want to say quickly, Kay Foster says, I just joined yesterday. Let me post on the message boards. We are dealing with some spammers, those bot spammers, Winston, on the message boards right now. I'm having the worst time dealing with that right now. So I did put it where I've got to approve the posts before they show up. So Kevin, I will get to that shortly here, and I apologize for that, but I am working on these bots from Pakistan and some other countries that keep jumping on trying to mess with our boards. So we're working on that, and that will not be a problem here hopefully much sooner. But I hope folks do give me a little bit of a grace period on this as I'm trying to work the joys of being the owner of your own website, Winston, trying to deal with spammers on the message boards. Not something I thought I'd have to deal with, but we're pushing through. But appreciate you, Winston. Thanks to Tracy again for joining us as well. And we'll be continuing to discuss and promote progressive wealth management moving forward here as one of the sponsors of the Winston Venable Show. So appreciate it, and appreciate everybody for watching. We will talk to you tonight, 8 o'clock. Subscribers on our BNN After Dark show, and then Mike Prater will be back with me tomorrow as well for our Thursday morning show. So have a great rest of your Wednesday. If news breaks, we'll have it for you. If not, you'll see Johnny Winston and I with Richie Bronco tonight at 8 p.m. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bronco Nation News, BroncoNationNews.com.